Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the absolute shitstorm, the terrible, awful, narcissistic, unnecessary piece of poo that is the State of Wrestling address. I am, of course, the king of shithousery, the Egyptian comm machine, videographer. Basically, I do everything in wrestling, but that doesn't stop people getting really bitchy, does it? And going online and crying on their keyboards. And I don't know, Kevin Nixie's such a piece of shit. And I would be in agreement with you. I am a piece of shit. I'm Aeron Nix. Joining me on this podcast is the man who puts the wood in Bollywood, the man whose hard drive should not be submitted to the FBI anytime soon, and the man who is, of course, on the top 10 FBI's most wanted predators list. It is, of course, Tanvir.
Hi, everyone.
Looks like he's ready for his court appeal, to be honest.
I had a staff meeting today. It went well.
That's really, what was it for? Because to be fair, like all jokes aside, you actually look quite snappy.
Yeah. It was just a general staff meeting, just going over things because NHS and all that.
Yeah. How is the NHS? Is it still overloaded and woefully being raped and, you know...
Still overloaded.
Tory scum!
There was one old lady who gave me hope because she answered the phone and I was like, oh, I don't have an appointment until this day. She's like, oh, that's okay. I know it's a busy period. I'm like, thank fuck someone knows. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, you've made my day by just knowing that you know it's a busy period.
You wouldn't be overwhelmed if it wasn't for a steaming pile of shit called Rishi Sunak. So, you know. Get out. Anyway. All political rants aside, ladies and gentlemen, we are also joined in the triple threat, the trifecta of State of Wrestling address by the current reigning and defending Risen Pro Wrestling champion, one half of the IWE Tag Team Champions, the BCD Il Campione Ichiban #1 champion of the world. And of course, he's a champion somewhere else that nobody cares about. And ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, nobody cares about that belt, please.
Big cock disorder.
Disorder is right, honestly. So there's a lot of disorders in that one.
What is Danny there?
Shut up. I'm doing Roger Sears' intro. For later. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the delicious, delectable delinquent of Dorset that is, ladies and gentlemen, Il Sausage Mammoth Capacity #1, Il Anaconda Wrap Around Your Neckaroo, Roger, the main event, the history maker, the largest penis in all of the land.
Wow.
The man who needs no introduction because his cock knocks the door wide open.
His introduction is longer than the Undertaker's entrance. Some say Roger Sears' cock is so big that it is the blueprint for the Great Wall of China.
Some say Roger's cock is so big you can see it from space.
Roger Sears' cock is so big that it is actually designed on the railway network of the United States of America. There's also some wrestling this week. Like anyone cares about that. Right, let's get cracking. So, let's start with the fact that Kota Ibushi is now officially signed with All Elite Wrestling. Does anyone fucking care? Because I don't.
We already knew he was signed, and the thing is, he's going to be like Pac, where he'll be going back and forth between Japan and.
So he's not going to be utilized whatsoever, despite being really talented.
Pretty much.
Fair enough. They'll have to job to a guy who literally wears jeans.
Yeah. Cool. This is his fourth match in AEW, and 2 of them have been street fights. It's like that's not his style, man.
Yeah, that's
He's not the Ibushi of old with DDT and doing all the craziness. No, he's older now.
Yeah, get the Kaz Botchka Okada and he'll sort things out. I just he used to be such a good wrestler, didn't he? Until AEW got their hands on him, like Japanese royalty, and now he's a pile of shit and everyone hates him. Funny. That's not true. Nobody actually knows who he is in North America. Yeah, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I've never been that big a fan of Ibushi. It's clearly obvious he can work. Obviously, does anyone remember the infamous fireworks in Bethnal Green? Have you seen where there's a guy stood on a car, a Japanese wrestler with fireworks? It went viral a few years ago.
Yeah. That's Ibushi.
No, that was Ibushi basically. Yeah, I think it was 1PW in East
I think
London.
it was XPW. It was
XPW, that was it. Yeah, because 1PW is a big steaming pile of shit and all. That's neither here nor there.
what was the name of the venue?
Even call me. I'll still fucking work for money. I don't give a shit.
What was the
or heat?
What was the name of the venue that Eve used to run where we went to a show actually?
Yeah, it was the Resistance Gallery in Bethnal Green.
That was it, yeah, Resgal.
Yeah, it was outside there, and I think it was, I don't know. The promoter who fucking ran that show now runs Eve. I think he's still ranting on about the fireworks spot, so he's probably posted it again this week because he's got a hard on for Ibushi, which is fine. I like Ibushi. He was in the Cruiserweight Classic as well, if I remember rightly.
Got hit by a burning hammer by Brian Kendrick.
As he should. Working with Brian Kendrick in a couple of months. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, literally, 3 straight months.
Fucking kids there, isn't he?
Tanvir, if you interrupt me again, I'm going to fucking kick you in the face, for the love of Christ. Like, you are a whole interruption program tonight. Shut the fuck up, cunt. Jesus Christ. Fucking irritated. Literally every time I try and speak, he's in there, man. Shut up, you little shit. Otherwise, I will literally ring the police and tell them you're a nonce. So yeah, anyway.
You have no proof.
Yeah, you want fucking heat? There's some heat. Put that on your fucking keyboard warriors, you cunts. Fucking fannies. Oh, I go on Facebook, but only my private Facebook can take cheap shots because I'm really fucking hard.
Gonna lose my job.
Fucking melts the lot. Yeah, so basically, I don't care. I don't give a shit, if I'm being honest. Moving on, because AEW does actually have a Full Gear pay-per-view this weekend. Oh, I can't fucking wait. So there's a few things floating around here. Tony Khan says that one of the world's best wrestlers will sign an AEW contract at Full Gear. Tanvir, who is he signing?
I really couldn't give a fuck.
It's Taz.
I really couldn't give a fuck because it's another fucking signing, man.
It's Tony Nese, isn't it?
He's already fucking signed.
You wouldn't think so, would you, if you watched the product? Because nobody's fucking seen him. Roger says, who do you think Tony Khan has somehow managed to procure this time?
It's probably Will Ospreay, isn't it?
Do you think it's Will Ospreay?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a really good shout, actually. Yep. All right. Will Ospreay debuts this weekend. You heard it first. Roger says he's going to have even more fucking dicks swinging around, if that's correct. As sad as it is to say, I think Will Ospreay is a better fit for AEW than he is. No, it's I don't, obviously I'm happy for Will because he'll get loads of money and he'll get to wrestle loads of his friends. Aussie Open will be there as well, so he can reunite United Empire, which would be quite cool. But yeah, I'm okay, cool. But yeah, he is definitely probably the most exciting free agent in the world at the moment for my money.
He's still with New Japan though until Feb, I think.
Really?
I think so.
In that case, maybe he won't sign. I don't know. I mean, it says world's greatest wrestler or one of the world's greatest wrestlers, but that could be absolute hyperbole. One of the world's best wrestlers. Zack Sabre Jr.?
He's still with New Japan because he's got the TV title. Fuck it. I'm going to say Josh Alexander. Fuck it.
Would be very easy to get him out of his contract, to be fair, with the amount of money they have. He could just throw a shitload of millions at Scott D'Amore. Here you go, have some money and run a good TV show, and we'll have Josh Alexander. That would be pretty awesome. Also, Ethan Page would be relevant again, which would be nice. Because of the North, innit? So we shall see. Oh well. I don't know. Let us know in the comments below who you think is the surprise wrestler. Before we mention, actually, do you know what? I'll save that for later because I cannot wait to absolutely annihilate him. So the other thing going into this pay-per-view is the AEW Devil. Has anyone seen the mysterious Devil running around?
Sir?
What?
Just to backtrack on the world's greatest wrestler thingy with Tony Khan, there is the women's side. It could be Mercedes Moné.
That would be a really good pickup, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be an amazing pickup because she's got a lot of star power, and also she is delightful to look at.
I just
yeah.
want to throw that in because it's like,
Is that am I lying? Like, you know, people are gonna be, oh, he's so sexist, he's objectifying women. No, I think it's okay to say someone's attractive. When did it become, by the way, offensive to say people are attractive? Do you remember there used to be a time when, like, if, for instance, right, I went on a date the other night, shock horror, I know, and the girl said to me, "You're really, really attractive." So if I turn around and say, "I also find you to be very attractive," oh, you are Satan, you fascist, die and burn in the woke society of hell. Shut up, man. What happened to being you know what? We want people to be kinder. We be kind and also be honest and tell someone when they're beautiful. And then it's like, oh, yeah. It's not like I said, what? Mercedes Monet, banging set of tits, mate. Oh, fucking nice ass. I literally just said she was fit. But somebody will be like, how dare you say a woman is attractive? You piece of shit. You son of a bitch. Like, okay, cool, whatever, man. Fuck off. Honestly, no wonder men won't fucking pursue women, not at least like Roger Sears, but Roger Sears doesn't have to because women pursue Roger Sears, ladies and gentlemen. They
one
just
look at that cock and
they literally like accidentally stand on his cock while they're chasing him in 100 meters. Like, yeah, no, he's the man. He's the fucking man. Oh dear. You know why your car broke down? Because it, quite frankly, couldn't handle the size of your sausage. That's why your car broke down.
Its massive weight was bearing it
fuck
down.
that car for not being able to handle the weight of your mammoth penis. So yeah, there's a masked devil running around, and a lot of people are suggesting it's actually CM Punk, and the whole thing has been a massive storyline. Roger Sears, would you like to see CM Punk back in AEW, or would you like to see him debut at Survivor Series as the 5th mystery member of Cody Rhodes' team?
I think it would be more entertaining if he went to WWE.
I think he's better suited to WWE.
Yeah, but I got to be honest. At this point, nothing really surprises me. You know, if it turned out he is this devil in AEW and it's all been a work, I'm not exactly going to be going, yeah, I'm massively shocked. I think they're at a point now where they'll try anything totally extreme to try and shock people and get ratings and stuff. And yeah, it just nothing really seems to surprise me in wrestling now, which is a little bit of a shame, to be honest. But
yeah, the organic nature and the unpredictability of wrestling does seem to have died. And I think the internet, as I've said for years now, the internet really did signal the death knell for the organic excitement of wrestling for me, because dirt sheets became more important, like a big old Tanvir Meltzer over here. Tanvir Verdi, who is in the Devil's Mask, because a lot of people, the original suggestion was that it was Jungle Jack Perry.
I reckon it's Jack Perry. I'm hoping that it might be Pac. I'm hoping it might be Pac.
Is he even still alive at this point?
He's a Geordie bastard.
Talk about. I'm sorry,
if he
but
was dead, you would be the first to know.
I would love to do a podcast based solely on how they dropped the ball with Pac, because he should have been their champion by now. Useless. Like, he's by far and away better than the overwhelming majority of their roster. He's better than, and do you know what? I'll say this, like, and this might upset people. I think he's better than any champion they've had other than MJF. I think he's better than Moxley. I think he's better than Jericho. He's definitely better than Kenny Omega, but that's not saying a great deal. You know, he's better than Hangman Page. Jesus, Lord Almighty. Talk about a whingy little slag. I don't care about predominantly most of their roster. They don't feel like stars. Pac had the promo, the look, and the wrestling ability of a star, and they were like, yeah, but he's British, so we won't push him as much. Okay, whatever you say, whatever. Right, AEW Full Gear, Roger Sears. I bet you're absolutely stoked for AEW Full Gear, right?
I ain't got a clue.
Fucking Roger Sears in a really bad mood today, as you can tell. He's had a rough one, bless him. His car broke down and is officially completely dead. What's happened to it?
Starter motor's gone. And although it's not like totally dead, the point is, obviously, we only need it until March. And the MOT is due on the 9th of December, and I know it needs other work. And it's like, I'm not prepared to pump like 500 odd quid in to get it through for just a few months. So, yeah, that's pretty much the end of it for me.
Can you not just like use your cock like the grapple gun on Fortnite and just lasso yourself around?
I mean, maybe.
Just that's
you just become like you just become Spider-Man and flip.
Exactly. Yeah, Anaconda Man. What?
I just realized. So Full Gear right now is 9 matches.
Yes.
We've still got Dynamite tonight, Rampage on Friday, and Collision. This is gonna be like a fucking 15 match card. I want
like
to
how you
kill
felt that was
myself.
nice. Look, Tanvir, like I swear to God, why do I need to know that? Like it's like, oh, mind if I just depress you some more while also interrupting you? Come on, bro. Right, AEW.
I'm sorry.
Shut the fuck up! I swear to God. AEW Full Gear, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, where's Cameron Hansen when you need him? Right, AEW Full Gear. We'll start with a
Fucking
pre-show
dead.
match. Ring of Honor. Again, he's interrupting me. Come on, man. AEW Full Gear starts with a pre-show match involving the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. MJF and a mystery partner will face Austin and Colton, the Guns, for the tag titles. Roger Sears, who's going to be the partner? Do you think Adam Cole's coming back?
Maybe.
You love your AEW, don't you? You can see.
I haven't been following it, so I'm really not up to date with how they've been booking things. So, yeah, I'm kind of be pretty useless on this, to be fair. With
The storyline on AEW in general right now seems to be MJF is the only good wrestler we have, so everyone else is attacking him. Legit. That seems to be the thing that they seem to be doing on TV. I've noticed that like 7 or 8 different guys are challenging him for the title or beating him up every week. It's ridiculous. Like it's actually out of hand now. It's almost like they've recognized shit. MJF is our only draw. Put him in every segment. Which is, just ludicrous. Tanvir, do we have new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions this weekend?
Yeah, put it on the Guns because it's an all-in situation again where it's like we're gonna see MJF in the opening and we're gonna see him in the main event. It's like get the ROH titles off them ASAP to then just one match, because if I'm gonna see MJF twice in one night, it's like it kind of loses the draw. I'm like, well, I've already seen him the once.
Well, you're going to get spoiled at this show because there are 2 women's matches. The first one being Hikaru Shida, the AEW Women's World Champion. Yes, she's champion again. Will defend against timeless Tony Storm. Oh, my Lord. Who, for some reason, has a fat amoeba as her manager at ringside. I have no idea why that is, but Dr. Luther is apparently going to be at ringside with Tony Storm. I have no idea why that is the case, nor do I want to fucking know, nor do I want him on my TV screen. Fuck that guy. Tanvir, new champion.
I'm gonna say Shida to retain because I think let Shida cook a bit. But Tony Storm's been great.
What? Tony Storm has been magnetic. I mean, I don't know. Have you seen any of Tony Storm's work, Roger Sears?
Not a lot of it, no.
Well, when you need to buffer that massive penis of yours, just type in timeless Tony Storm on YouTube and thank you. Basically gone for like a full like broken Marilyn Monroe gimmick. She's like dressed like that. It's
good.
It's also very, very good, to be fair. It's not just her looking hot. Like, this is a great promo. She's just completely unhinged as like this Hollywood starlet that's having a meltdown. It's really well done, actually. Probably the best character, arguably, in AEW right now. What do you want?
Other than Christian.
What do you want?
Dead father.
Pardon? If you're going to interrupt me, at least make it make sense.
You said best character.
Okay.
I said other than Christian.
Okay. Yeah, no, Christian is very good, to be fair. Also, Tanvir's internet, for some reason, is playing up. I have no idea why, but we're getting a lot of stuttering and feedback from him. Now, speaking of terrible things, so Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland with Ric Flair at ringside. Fucking hell. The budget for this match alone. Now, you would think if you had Edge, Sting, and Darby Allin with Ric Flair at ringside, you'd have the best opponents for him. Am I right? Am I right, boys?
That's what you think.
Absolutely. Well, we have one in Christian Cage, and then we have Dino Douche, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne Kerr, who I don't fucking care. He looks like someone's twink. He looks like Luchasaurus. I was
going to say Twink Wayne.
Twink Wayne. Like, it just fucking what? Like, the kid might be very talented, but he looks so bland. So maybe this is where you need a proper developmental with proper trainers. What, you've got Dean Malenko and all these different people on your payroll. You can't pay them to train people properly and make them look like stars. Fuck me. So yeah, pretty obvious who's going over here,
right? Right. Next.
What?
Nick Wayne looks like if I gave Cameron Anderson a bacon slicer.
It's a bit harsh. You're saying Cameron Anderson's fat.
Nah, not fat. Cam's more like Cam looks like you'd eat Nick Wayne.
Has Tanvir like decided to use Alex Lanzo's internet this weekend or something? He's normally like really solid, but he's just completely collapsed this week. He's just like turn all your Wi-Fi off and everything else, you shithead. Anyway, so yeah, what do you think, Roger? Do you fancy Christian Cage and the team of retards to overthrow Edge and the gang, or
no?
Okay, cool.
I'm fairly certain this is going to be Edge, Sting, and Darby Allin winning this.
How much coke do you think Ric Flair is going to do in the build-up to this match?
Jesus Christ.
All the coke.
He's going to be fucking off his tits at ringside, I reckon. Like, because AEW, right? AEW has become very much like TNA circa 2012 or WCW circa 2000, where they just grab anyone and let them do all the drugs all the time. Do you remember Ultimate Warrior's rerun in WCW? That's what I'm expecting from Ric Flair. I'm expecting him to throw the world's worst fireball. You know, I'm amazed they haven't brought Hulk Hogan in yet. I'm absolutely amazed. He must have like a permanent Legends contract with WWE or something. Otherwise, they would have thrown all the money at him. I can honestly see them having a Revolution, Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan.
Oh my God.
Ric Flair versus Steamboat.
To be fair, Steamboat's in better condition than half their current roster.
Yeah.
It's just true. If anyone's seen him, by the way, he's in incredible condition. There's a man who cared about his body and looks after himself, which is, more than I can say, that's for sure. But yeah, like I just don't fucking care. I should care about that match. I don't. It's just an absolute clusterfuck. So the AEW International Championship is on the line. Orange Cassidy defends against Jon Moxley. This is not a pay-per-view. This is a fuck-per-view. It's fucking useless. What is this? Orange Cassidy dropping the belt to Jon Moxley, do we think?
I couldn't give a fuck about this because ever since its inception, Pac's been the only one to make this belt international. You had a UK show and you didn't even have the fucking title defended.
That says a lot, doesn't it? But Tony Khan's the best booker in the world because Tony Khan creates a safe working environment, and that's what's important to me because wrestling is about being all-inclusive. It doesn't matter if I'm grossly overweight and the drizzling shits. I deserve to be a wrestler too. I deserve to be good at wrestling, even if I don't put in the work. You know why you're laughing, Rog? Because it's true. That's why. Because you know full well that it takes a lot of work. We all do. We know how much work it takes to work in this business. So when you bring your fat, lazy carcass to a show and go, I want to be a referee. I want to be an MC. I want to be this. Well, then do the fucking work and work hard like the rest of us. No one's saying that you can't be a great referee or a great fucking MC or a great wrestler or whatever and not have the body for it, because you know what? There's a lot of guys who have proved that very wrong. John Tenter, by the way, one of the best workers of all time. Quite a portly gentleman, I'd say, but fucking amazing. Rikishi Fatu, one of the biggest fucking gas tanks in the business, despite being the size of a gas tank. You know, like it didn't matter. But these people still worked really. Bam Bam Bigelow, one of the all-time greatest super heavyweights in professional wrestling history. Big Van Vader, Stan Hansen. None of these guys were fucking shredded, but they worked week in, week out at their craft, and they took their business seriously. So when somebody's like, oh, I deserve to be in wrestling because I identify as a dolphin, I don't give a flying fuck. I want you to put in the work. I don't give a shit if you're a mammal, if you're a fucking bacteria. I don't care if you're a fucking 1972 Rolling Stones record that classifies itself as an LP that shoves its penis up the backside of a fucking rhino. I could care less what you fucking are. I don't care. I don't discriminate. All I expect of you is to work as hard as everyone else in the fucking room. That's all I expect of you, and I will always show you the respect and give you an opportunity. But if you just want to turn up and go, I'm gay, so therefore I deserve to be a wrestler. No, you fucking don't. And also, nobody cares if you're gay because ultimately, equality means I could give a shit what your sexuality is. I don't care. That is of no interest or perception to me whatsoever. Talent is what is important to me. It's like representation. I'm very proud that I'm an Arab in professional wrestling, but that means jack shit if I'm not any good at what I do, which it turns out I am. So keep crying, keyboard warriors. The bottom line is inclusiveness. This is what AEW has kind of said. Everyone deserves to be a wrestler. Even fuck Nugget over here, who's wrestled 3 times for, I don't know, Full Impact North Jabroni Wrestling number 5 promotion in Massachusetts. Like, nobody gives a fuck. This thing of like, oh, they're a star to their 20 fans, therefore they'll be a star on our TV. Yeah, that's why you have a roster of 2,000 people and 2 of them are over. Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. By the way, ratings. Ratings don't matter until, of course, they do when you have high ratings than everyone else, right? Fucking mental gymnastics. Your company is a joke. Absolute joke. Jesus Christ Almighty. I don't know. John Moxley to win the belt because I don't care. Roger Sears got a prediction.
Before we get to a prediction, what the fuck is Orange Cassidy doing with the title?
Didn't he win it off? Is he still? Is this still the reign when he won it off a Pac?
No. So what it was is he had the longest reign, then lost it to Moxley. Then Moxley got injured on Dynamite against Phoenix, so Phoenix won it, and then he dropped it to Phoenix because Tony Khan's a fucking idiot and does not let Phoenix cook.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, Moxley to win.
Moxley to win, yeah. Moving on, because fuck this. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. Oh, a wrestling match. Oh, wait, no. It's a Texas death match because we can't just have a normal match. Prince Nana will be at ringside. Has anyone seen the home invasion video of Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana invading Hangman Adam Page's home at night and throwing a Swerve Strickland t-shirt, I believe it was, on his child in a cot?
Oh dear.
Because nothing says heat by giving someone else your merch. Like what? Like we could have done it. We could have smashed the place up. We could have, fucking, I don't know, threatened his wife or whatever. And instead we're like, let's break into his house and then stand over his child, his infant child. Anyone see a problem with this? Anyone? and then throw our merch at it. Now then, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Who greenlit this? Who greenlit? Did you know what fucks me off, right? So, full disclosure, I need to move out in 2 weeks. Most people who know me know my situation, whatever. I sit here and I think, I'm struggling to make ends meet, but I'm working hard and I'm staying positive about it. So I'm not that bothered. I don't want anyone's sympathy. But then you see this stuff being recorded. And can you imagine how much money Tony Khan probably threw at this? Enough money probably for me to rent a beautiful place for a year. That's the really sad thing about it. And you sit there and you think, huh. So you're willing to give this shit a green light, but people don't want to give someone like myself who works harder than anyone else in the room an opportunity? Okay, cool. That's fine. I'll just keep working hard. And eventually when I'm doing fucking incredible things, then I'll be ringing up Tony Khan and going, you're a cunt. Because this is cunty behavior. The fucking state. This is why nobody's watching your product. You know why? Because it's the drizzling fucking shits. And people say to me, yeah, I bet you'd still take his money. Absolutely, I would. And I'd still come on here every week and tell him how shit his product is, even if I was on his payroll. You can bank that, you fucking cunts. How about that? So, yeah. Texas Deathmatch. Who you got? Hangman Adam Page or Swerve Strickland? I've got Swerve just because I actually really like Swerve and he's amazing.
I love Swerve. I want. There needs to be a deep dive on how WWE dropped the ball with Swerve.
I mean, did they though? Because it's not like AEW have picked up the ball and ran with it, is it?
No, they haven't.
Oh, you're black. Go with Keith Lee. Okay, where's Keith Lee, by the way? Is he still alive?
He just had the match with Samoa Joe, and then Samoa Joe flipping relinquished the ROH TV title.
When you say relinquish, what, he just vacated it?
Yeah, because he's like, well, I can't really go after the AEW World title while I've still got this.
Why not? Like, what? See what I mean? Like, who writes these storylines? They're terrible. They're actually horrible. They didn't make no sense. There's no care. Do you know what? Moving on. Fuck this man.
Yeah.
I hope Swerve Strickland batters Adam Page. Just saying. Oh, good. The Golden Jets. Who in their right mind figure, why don't you just call yourselves Golden Shower and be done with it? Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus the Young Bucks. Talk about I need to wank myself off in front of the mirror 7 times a day special, because that's what this match is. Apparently, if the Golden Jets win, they will get the Young Bucks AEW World Tag Team Championship opportunity. Yes, they're #1 contenders.
This makes no
Or
sense.
if the Young Bucks win, the Golden Jets must disband as a team. So there's Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, who, by the way, from what I can tell, have only been a team for a small amount of time anyway, haven't they?
Like 2 matches.
They've had 2 matches and already they're putting up a... So the big... Oh my God, I'm going to actually fucking have an aneurysm. So the big storyline here is that if Jericho and Omega lose, they must disband, right? So you would think, oh, they must have been together like 2 or 3 years. No, 2 matches. Two match. Tony Khan, you massive cunt. You literal, useless, cock-waffling shithead. How can you honestly think, oh, this is a hook. This is a story. You know why? Because Chris Jericho's taken his flapjack-eating, great flapping Canadian Republican anus into his room and gone, oh, Tony, oh, I've got a great idea for you, buddy? Oh, how about we do this, boot, and this angle, and, oh, do you mind if I just fucking regularly masturbate myself ferociously on TV and not give a shit about your product? Because that's what Chris Jericho has become. While Kenny Omega does his stupid little sex operator voice promo shit where he's like, oh, I'm Kenny Omega and I'm ready for wrestling. Shut the fuck up. Seriously. Like, this business used to be full of fucking men. This business used to be full of proper workers. Holy shitballs. Now it's full of fucking sweaty, sex offender looking fucks. I'm blown away by this. I literally was like, really? 2 matches? Oh, come on. Fuck off. I don't care about this match. Who's winning it?
I don't care.
Who's gonna win? The Golden Shower or the Young Fucks? What we got?
Can I reiterate a point that you said, Nick? We're not criticizing the in-ring. We have never criticized the in-ring.
The match will be great because all these guys know how to work. That's never been the issue.
Yes.
The issue here is booking and ego, which is literally the worst in the history of wrestling. This is as bad as 2001 WCW. This is how bad it is. It's terrible. Fucking show me the proof that it's not. And whenever you do, they just go online and like, oh, you just like Jim Cornette. Oh, you're a WWE troll. I don't even watch WWE, bruv. I don't have time. I just look at this and I think, this is the drizzling shits. And I thought, okay, people say to me, well, you got to watch it. So I thought, okay. So I watched Dynamite a few weeks. I watched the Dynamite with the home invasion, right? It's fucking dreadful. The whole show, it was terrible. It was a bad, bad wrestling show. It wasn't even a wrestling. It was just bad TV. It was horrible. It was like watching WCW Thunder. It was just embarrassing. Really embarrassing. A real state. And there are some good things still poking around, like Samoa Joe and MJF, but they're being drowned in the mediocrity of everybody else. It's really sad.
I just want someone to please name me someone Chris Jericho has put over, because he says he's put over people. I'm like, no, any of the feuds that you have, nobody has come out of the other end better. No one. It's abysmal. It's dreadful.
And Adam Copeland can't put anyone over because he's been dragged into the vortex that is Sting's retirement party. So it's not like, and I'm sure Adam Copeland would love to put some people over right now. I love how his debut was wasted on Dino Douche, by the way. That's CM Punk's coming back to WWE. Who should we put him in the ring with first? Tony D'Angelo. Wait, what?
Almost, mate.
Oh, fucking kill me. Oh dear. At least he looks like a fucking star. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I'd probably the Young Bucks to it. The thing is, right, normally I'd say, put it on the EVPs, but Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho are as close to EVPs as anyone else as well. So this is literally just This is literally Tony Khan's fucking sex toy match, isn't it? He's just going to be ferociously whacking off while doing his usual lines of coke, and then not answering any questions because he's a fucking Republican politician wankstain. I don't fucking care. You know what? Do you know what people are saying? You're really fucking disrespectful. Do you know what's disrespectful? Destroying our business from the inside out with terrible fucking products, terrible booking, using terrible fucking anti-professional fucks like Rick Knox, who can't even recognize when somebody's literally out cold and almost got a broken neck in the middle of the ring, while using people who wrestle in jeans because apparently it's really funny and he's really over in front of the 50 people that give a shit. You know, you don't take this fucking seriously. No one said you couldn't have fun. No one said you couldn't have comedy wrestling either, because comedy wrestling is great. R-Truth is a fine example of that. Magnificent. There's some very funny wrestlers doing very funny things. Danhausen is hilarious. Should be used more on your TV, but put them in the correct place. You know, this is like playing Connect 4 and deliberately not matching anything. It's fucking pointless. Pisses me off. At least Roger Sears is smiling, so it's cheering him up, if nothing. My anger cheers people up. All right, this match I definitely will watch because all three people involved are extremely fucking fit. Chris Statlander will defend the AEW TBS Championship against Julia Hart and Sky Blue. God damn. Also, Sky Blue, from what I can tell, has gone extremely gothic and dark. Is that correct?
So what's happened here? So it was after the Julia Hart Sky Blue match, like they did like the mist thing, and so like Sky Blue's like Julia spit the mist, and they're kind of doing this thing because it's House of Black, it's spooky. So it's like, is she gonna turn? Is she gonna do this? It's one of the only interesting things going on, but that's because it's the House of Black.
Roger Sears is trying to drink himself into oblivion. That's how bad it is. You got a few spares, buddy.
He's got to fuel the cock somehow.
Supposed to do a seminar on Monday, for the love of Christ.
Professor Aeron Nix.
Yeah, right. Fucking class is now in session. First lesson that you will learn here at our seminar is do not watch AEW under any circumstances. Jesus Christ. You know what? I would rather be poor than take someone's money because they like AEW. I just oh man, fucking hell. I actually, to be fair, I think this match will be excellent. All three women are excellent workers. They're all got very intriguing characters. By the way, Chris Statlander's cosplay of somebody recent, I think it was like Wolverine or something. I was like, holy shit balls. The dedication that woman has to the craft is why she's actually a champion. And like this is a woman who looks like a star. You know, big, powerful, sex appeal, everything you want. And don't act like sex appeal doesn't sell tickets, by the way. People want to act like, oh, yeah, it fucking does. Of course it fucking does. Like, it's like, don't be, that's why Roger Sears is champion, baby. Like, come on. The bottom line is people pay to see attractive people. That's why they pay to see Roger Sears and not Sean Riley. Because if I want to pay to see a hobgoblin, I'll go down the local fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake in the Oompa loompa doopity doo. Sean Riley's got a little secret for you. Oompa loompa doopity dum. I'd like to be in the back of Sean's mum. Anyway, she's beautiful. She's a lovely lady. I apologize deeply for watching this. She will never watch this podcast, and thank God. Sean Riley will, though. How's your mum? Anyway, moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, what were we doing? AEW. That's right. We were talking about terrible. Chris Statlander probably to retain because Julia Hart and Sky Blue will have a load of shenanigans. That's what I'm going for. Tanvir, you got anything to add?
I think Julia Hart's gonna win.
To be honest, all three women are amazing. Do you know what? Right, I hate to come across as a perv, but Sky Blue,
Kyle Fletcher.
Round of applause for our boy Kyle Fletcher. Round of applause. Like, oh, for you, motherfucker. Man, he must have a knob the size of the Sahara, honestly. To be fair, he's actually a very good-looking boy, and he's a big, strong boy as well. So good for you on pulling Sky Blue, you absolute shithead. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. The only man with a bigger knob than you, obviously, Rod Sears. I I don't have anything else to add. 3 beautiful women who are all very talented at what they do. I hope you have a great match and steal the show and prove to Tony once again why he is a useless cockwaffle who doesn't appreciate good women's wrestling. A fatal 4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Are you ready for this one, Rog? I bet you are. Oh, I could see your face. I bet you can't wait. So, your tag team champions. No, not Proud and Powerful. No, not the Young Bucks. No, not FTR. It's Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Fucking hate this company so much. Ricky, and I like Ricky Starks, by the way. I think he's a megastar, although he certainly needs to learn how to do a pile driver properly. Ricky Starks and Big Bill will face La Faction Ingobernable, which is Roosh and Dralistico. Yeah, I bet they're drawing. Oh, they've got Jose the assistant as their manager because nothing says star power like Jose the assistant. They'll also be facing FTR. You remember those guys? Really, really good, like the best tag team. Remember when they were the best tag team in the world? Anyone remember that? Anyone? Never mind. And also the Kings of the Black Throne, bit racist, Malachi Black and Brody King. Why is that not like Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee? That sounds like a really cool name for them. Are we not allowed to acknowledge black culture anymore because all the I don't classify as black, I classify as a I don't fucking know. I'm not even going to get into that before I get in trouble. Oh fucking hell! Like, what happened to just having a good tag team match for the tag titles? What happened to just simple stuff can be really effective? Like, anyone seen Reese and Rogan on the British scene? Amazing tag team, right? Simple and effective. Reese and Rogan come in. You put them against a really athletic, high-flying team. They fucking smash them up, give them good hope spots. Great match. Everyone's fucking invested. Heels win the tag titles. Big chasers. Congratulations, by the way, Reese and Rogan. Absolutely smashing it. 2 of my boys. And when I see them doing what they do, I think it's insulting to think that AEW want to do this kind of stuff instead. Yeah, you know what's really funny? It's all inclusive. We give opportunities to everybody. And yet, Zach Knight still not signed. Sky Smithson, Tate Mayfair's, all of these people are better than anything on your roster. I said it. All of these people should be in AEW. All of these people should be on TV every single week. There's nothing wrong with Progress and all that lot. And, they're great places to work and Red Pro and stuff like that. They're the best, companies we have. But the fact that none of these people have been picked up for TV is ludicrous to me. And yet we get all these fuck nuggets running around. Who the fuck is Dralistico?
Tony Khan literally had a dream match at his feet the moment Zach Gibson put that promo on Twitter of like, oh yeah, do FTR the Grizzled Young Veterans straight away. And he did fuck all because Big Bill and Starks are the champs. Kill me now, man.
Yeah.
FTR Grizzled Young Veterans screams dream match, like big fucking draw. Like the promos between Dax and Gibson would just sell the match itself.
It's like the greatest team in America versus the greatest team in Britain, isn't it? Like, easy money left on the table. You know why? Because there's no one intelligent enough. And the thing is, as well, nobody will go up to Tony and say, "That's fucking stupid. Do this," because they're all terrified for their paycheck.
I would.
Oh, I would, absolutely. I wouldn't care how much you pay me. I'd be like, yo, why are you booking that? Because this blah, 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 blah. I'm like, hey, what? Shut up, man. Stupid. Dean Malenko, what are you doing over there? Stop fucking fingering yourself and come over and fucking speak with me, man, because you must know what you're doing. Like, fucking Paul White, Mark Henry, Taz. Oh, by the way, have you seen what they've done with the Collision commentary team? So they've told Kevin Kelly, because apparently they don't like him that much. So they've told Kevin Kelly to be a color commentator, and now Tony Schiavone is the lead commentator.
Fuck off!
Even though Kevin Kelly is one of the best play-by-plays in the history of this sport.
You had arguably...
JR, keep it down, mate, because, Josh Matthews over here, but I feel like he's a lot better at... Tony Schiavone, by the way, is the drizzling fucking shits. I can out-talk Tony Schiavone with my dick in my mouth. Ludicrous. I could fucking. Do you know what? I hope you hear this, Tony Schiavone. You fucking whingy little twat. You are shit at commentary. You are shit. You are shit at your job. You're it's Sting. You sound like a prepubescent child. Grow up. You know, I'm sure you have some knowledge. But do you know what's really funny? Even Bobby Heenan thought you were the drizzling fucking shit, and he's the greatest heel play-by-play of all time. So you can suck my dick. That man's color commentary was astonishing, by the way. Like Jesus Christ. Like, if you put me in a room with Tony Schiavone and Kevin Kelly, and Tony Schiavone's like, adults are speaking, me and Kevin are talking, shut up. Go back to serving coffee, you gimp.
The highlight of Collision would be Nigel McGuinness and Kevin Kelly on commentary, because they had such great chemistry, bounce off one another, and you'd have your face commentary and also play-by-play in Kevin Kelly, but also you have Nigel McGuinness there to help out, give play-by-play, give experience too. It was amazing. You're going to add Tony Schiavone to that. Fuck the three-man booths. We don't need three-man booths.
They don't work. I've actually gone on record as saying I do a lot of commentary for the British scene, as everyone knows. I will not work a three-man booth. I won't. Flatly refuse. And people are like, oh, that's really arrogant. I don't give a fuck. I don't mind. I don't mind if it's two personas. Like, so you've got a heel and a face wrestler, because I actually did that at Spinebuster. I'm a bit, it's a bit contradictory, but that was technically a 3-person booth, but it was Rain Leverkusen, one of the best women's wrestlers in Britain, and then Brad Matthews, one of the best male heels in British wrestling. And the whole point was that I did the majority of the speaking, and then they would add cadence to the face or the heel side without interrupting me like a grown child, aka Tony Schiavone. Oh, stop! Shut the fuck up! I swear to God, I will decapitate you myself. Useless. Nigel McGuinness should just literally be like, every time you speak, I'll lariat you. Shut up. Because Nigel McGuinness is king in my house. Like,
Fridays.
Kelly, Nigel McGuinness. Perfect. Oh, we've brought in this amazing commentary team. Ian Riccaboni, man. Where the fuck's he at?
I don't know about Riccaboni, but Riccaboni is great. The whole thing that made the Wrestle Dream commentary perfect was that you had Kevin. I think you had. It was Nigel. It was during the Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. match. You had Nigel McGuinness and John Moxley just bouncing off one another because they were just so passionate. It's like
Moxley pretty much ripped off all of McGuinness's work, from what I can tell.
But Mox was just great on. You're good at your job, or you're good at commentary when Ian Riccaboni straight up said, "I am jealous of John Moxley because he's so fucking natural and so fucking good on commentary."
Yeah, Rod says you were very quiet, mate. You got any? Right, who's winning the tag titles? A big Bill and Ricky. Hey, no. I'm gonna go with for a laugh, Los Faction Ingo Bernardo.
I'm going Kings of the Black Throne.
Kings of the Black Throne just sounds like the world's most devastating pornography. So, no, that is the kind of thing where it's like, yo, the basketball was dropped and shit went down. You know those memes where there's the one little white girl on the sofa surrounded by humongous black. That's what Kings of the Black.
I forgot to say her fucking name.
Cool. How do you know that person's name? What's her name? Go on.
She is a porn star called Piper Perry. Yes.
Talk amongst yourselves. Piper Perry. Let's have a look. Piper Perry. Yeah. Fucking size of that fucking cock. Gee, he can rod tears and run for his money. Christ almighty, bruv. Well, I can't show you because of YouTube standards, but if everyone types in Piper Perry, she's tiny, isn't she? Blimey. Piper Perry, give me a shot. Yeah. Good shit. A little bit of Arab on small white lady action. Never gonna. By the way, can we have more Muslim porn, please? I feel like we're,
What do you mean by that?
As in, I want to see a letterbox getting railed. That's what I want to see. There you go. Yeah. Do you know what? He's racist. Do you know what? Don't care because I am a fucking Arab and I come from a Muslim family. Suck my dick. Honestly. Suck my dick. It's an 18+ fucking gimmicked podcast. If you don't get it at this point, please go and die in a hole somewhere. Anyway, moving on. The main event will be MJF versus Jay White because that screams money.
Jay White is money. That's what I'll say.
Jay White's great, but it's that thing of does anyone care because the ratings are at an all-time low. Like for me, I like Jay. Me personally, I feel like Juice Robinson should get the title shot. I think he's more over than Jay White.
Juice is pretty fucking great.
Juice is fucking amazing. He's arguably the biggest heel character other than Christian Cage. I think he's amazing. Like, which is great for me because I've always loved Juice. For anyone who knows me, like I love the Juice. I'll tell you who's on the Juice, Cameron Anderson, mate. Fucking face of him. Yeah. Oh dear, old Roy D. McAnderson. Yeah, no, yeah. What's that you're on? The Juice? The gas? Yeah, fucking. I'm sure this match will be great. The thing is, you'll have to sit for about 5.5 hours to get to it. That sound is like, yeah. MJF to retain, I assume.
Yeah, they'll probably be an MJF retain, and then it will. It's the devil. Woo!
Look in my eyes. What do you see? Can you imagine if it's like, oh my god, the devil is assaulting him, and then the mask comes off and it's Jungle Jack Perry going, hi. Oh, that'll be a bigger fart ending than that fucking exploding deathmatch there. Do you remember that?
The mask comes off and it's Snoop Dogg.
Do you remember that? Oh, it's still to this day one of my favorite pieces of shit in wrestling. Like, it's like they built it so well. It's like, oh my god, Jon Moxley's gonna die. And then Kingston's like, everyone get the fuck down. It's like comfort him, and then all of a sudden it's like.
You had Onita was pissed. He was
the
like,
fucking state of that for me was when I realized AEW's a fucking joke, and it's never recovered for me from that point. I genuinely think if it goes out of business, which it never will, because Tony Khan will literally bankrupt himself before he lets that happen. But I reckon if it ever kind of dies off, and in 10 years' time we have Dark Side of the Ring, that will be the apex. That'll be the turning point where people will say after that it lost so much credibility. I really believe that.
Because they had quite a lot of credibility up to that point, like especially with how they handled Brody Lee's passing and everything.
My dick has more credibility.
Edibility too.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that once it's eaten, it's gone, isn't it? Piper Perry, give me a shout.
You gotta savor the flavor.
Savor the flavor, yeah. All right, WWE confirms we're moving on, by the way, because fuck AEW. Yeah. WWE confirms international venue for Backlash 2024. Good news, Backlash will be held in Lyon de Seine in France on May the 4th of 2024. Roger says, are you coming to France with me?
No.
Yeah, fuck. I might get the Eurostar, would you, sir?
Bruv, like the Eurostar's like, if we book it in advance, 40-50 quid, and we'll go to Lyon, spend a couple of nights. Look at Roger's fucking face. Such a miserable shit, isn't he? My car broke down today, so I'm not allowed to have any fun for the rest of my life. You miserable shit. Come to France with us. Mate, your wife's loaded now. Don't worry about it. JoJo's making Bear Bank, innit? Speaking of Bear Bank, Piper Perry. Yeah. Come on, Rog. Like, what, did you really not want to go to France? Do you hate the French that much that you wouldn't go to a WWE pay-per-view in France?
Oh, I'd be tempted. I would be tempted to go.
You could just walk around going, Je suis BCD.
Omelette du fromage.
Je m'appelle Roger Sears. I don't know why he's Borat, but apparently he is.
Yeah.
I am BCD champion. High five. Just this has got really out of hand real quick, which is what Piper Perry said to me.
Je suis difficile.
Yeah, I'm just literally going to be like, Je suis Napoleon, just like annoying the fuck out of everyone like a cunt. I'm going to be such a dickhead. Honestly, I'm going to try and buy tickets for that. I don't give a fuck. Why the fuck not, eh? Why the fuck not? So if anyone wants to come to France with me, fuck it. Let me know. And yeah, we'll be. No, I might like Rumble will book like the biggest tour of all time right on the same weekend. I'm like, nope, I'm going to France.
Well,
I want to try some of that sweet baguette.
I don't know if they've already got flyers out, but my friend told me about, I think it's the Rumble show in Addleston in February.
Possibly. Oh, is Addleston near you?
Addleston, I checked the train ride. It's about like a 15-minute train ride. It's not
recommend an Addleston. I mean, I couldn't recommend a Rumble show enough. They're amazing anyway. They're fantastic. They're great value. They're fun. It's probably the most family-friendly environment I've ever been in wrestling. Genuinely, like, love Rumble, obviously. Of course, people are going to be like, of course you're going to say that. I was like, mate, I wouldn't keep working there if it was shit, would I? Let's be honest. It's amazing. But the Addleston shows are great, and they're really, really good fun. Great venue as well. It's like big kids things, so you get a great view wherever he's at. Highly recommend it. I've also realised why Roger Sears doesn't want to go to a pay-per-view in France, because he's worried that people will chomp on his dick thinking it's a giant baguette.
No, it's just a massive croissant.
Have you seen the episode of Archer where he's trying to draw a snake, and then the guy thinks he's done a loaf of bread? He just holds up that massive baguette. And that's what I imagine. That's just Roger Sears, mate.
What season was that?
Season 4 or 5, I think.
Okay.
No, wait,
because I watched
season 6, I think. Season 6.
Okay, because I kind of dropped off Archer, I think, just before or right after Archer Vice.
It might be season 4, actually. I think it's right before the Live and Let Die episode with Anthony Bourdain. It's the one where they try and blow up the pipeline in Turkmenistan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he gets a snake bite. Roger Sears knows what I'm talking about. It's hanging around in numerous deserts.
It's been a few years since I watched Archer.
Roger Sears' dick is so long that it actually bit somebody in a trailer park in America. There's just more. So, what do we think? Do we think it's good that France is getting a pay-per-view? Do you think that's good for bit? I mean, they've done Puerto Rico, they've done the UK, they're doing Australia for Elimination Chamber. I think this is really fucking smart to just go and just throw themselves everywhere.
It's cool, and because it's like post-COVID, it's like this is well.
Yeah. The Americans still get predominantly the major shows, so they'll get WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and all that. But I think it's really cool. Like, you know, most importantly as well, Backlash. Like, you're going to create such a buzz, and you're going to create an indelible brand, a stamp of approval in a different country. You know, has France ever had a pay-per-view, for instance? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think the only one of like the big main pay-per-views I'd want like elsewhere is I really want Royal Rumble in Wembley.
I think I'd prefer Royal Rumble to WrestleMania at Wembley.
I really want a Royal Rumble in like Wembley, because us UK fans, we fucking love a Rumble. We love a Rumble.
We do love a Royal Rumble, yeah.
Yeah, like a Royal Rumble in Wembley would just...
The problem is the royal family might kick off about it. You know, so... But, you know, they killed Diana.
Entrant number 1, Prince Harry.
If I disappear next week, you know exactly why. Yeah, that's all right. Queenie's dead. She can't off me now like she did Diana. Anyway, allegedly, of course.
Who would set up the car bomb?
Who would set the what? A car bomb?
The car bomb.
The car bomb? Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. So it has... Why does it have to be a car bomb? What the fuck's that all about, you racist?
I mean, it's how Diana went.
Oh, yeah, Aeron X is an Arab. It's got to be a car bomb, isn't it? You know,
that's how Diana went.
Well, Libyan terrorists do that more than Egyptian ones. And second of all, fuck you. Anyway.
If they were going to off you, they'd do...
Oh, this was becoming a relatively professional conversation for a moment, and we just ruined it by talking about terrorism. Royal family ruins everything. But yeah, I think it's very, very...
Terrorism is a profession.
Yeah, it's a very short-term profession, but it's a profession nonetheless. By the way, WWE Bash in Berlin will emanate from the Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, Germany on August the 31st. Come on. Berlin, Germany, Rog. I was like, yeah, I'm down with the Nazi shit.
Yeah.
He's like, do you know what? France, they're weak. They surrendered, but Germany, that's strong and powerful.
Okay, now.
Yeah. Does anyone remember the Top Gear episode where they had to do advertising for the Volkswagen Scirocco? And then I remember this, and they had like all this footage of like German Nazis and like tanks, and then at the end it said the Volkswagen Scirocco from Poland to Berlin in one tank. You fucking assholes. You assholes, man. The joys of winning the war, I guess, is that you can take cheap shots as much as you like.
That's like peak Top Gear.
Yeah, this like I'm sorry, but like what is it now? I forgot what it's called now.
The Grand Tour.
Yeah, that's not nearly as good as Top Gear. It's just not.
It's got its moments, but not as good.
they're also getting too old for it now, I think, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, Berlin, Germany, I think also, Berlin is a fucking awesome city. I've been quite a few times. Genuinely can't recommend it enough. One of the most progressive and fun cities to be in. Loads of amazing bars, great nightlife. People speak beautiful English, probably better than we do, to be fair. I couldn't genuinely, I would love to go to Berlin and watch a WWE pay-per-view.
Can you get the Eurostar to Berlin?
No, you can't.
Oh, okay.
So it goes to, you can get it to, well, what you do is you get the Eurostar to Paris or Lille, I believe, and then you get connecting trains, and you can go to like Liège in Belgium, because I went to Brussels and then got train. And what they do is I don't know if they still do this, but when you got a return ticket on the Eurostar, it would also give you a ticket to that other country, like whether it be Holland or whatever it might be. So it would be included in your ticket price. So I'll sort it out, but I want to know if the boys are up for it, obviously.
Yeah. That might be an expensive weekend.
Apparently Roger Sears doesn't want to go to France because he doesn't like cheap.
That might be an expensive weekend.
Just sweet camembert!
Yeah, that might be an expensive week for some people, because I know you've got All In at Wembley, I think, the weekend before, and then right after you've got the Berlin show.
Yeah, but the Berlin show actually will have wrestling.
I'll have Gunther on it.
My God, Gunther in Germany.
He'll be able to travel then. He'll be able to travel
second coming. Can you imagine? Oh dear.
The Third Reich.
Can you imagine? No, why do you have to go there, for fuck's sake? What I was going to say was, like, can you imagine, like, how uncomfortable people are going to be? Like, a big Austrian guy in Berlin.
He paints people's chests like there is canvas.
It's going to be scared. There's going to be one dickhead who's going to try their luck and get the shit kicked out of them. It's going to happen. There's always some it'll be some drunk twat who's like used to going to Magaluf. Hey, fighting Gunner! Hey, 44!
Big hail!
Son, you can! Hey, we want a fighting war, Austria. It happens. I still remember when Gunther wrestled Speedball Mike Bailey in Brighton at Riptide Wrestling. I went to that, and some guy was like, "Fuck him up, he's a Nazi," and like literally, or luckily this is one of the few times where the woke fucking crowd did their job properly and just annihilated this silly cunt. Because I was just like, really? It's not even fucking from Germany, bruv. Not that you have to be from Germany to be a Nazi, by the way.
Nazi in Brighton sounds terrifying.
I don't want to make light of Nazism, but it is very funny in Rick and Morty when he wakes up to the fascist empire with the bit, and he goes, "It's still fascist."
Yeah, it's like, oh no, not again.
Yeah, and he just kills himself because he can't handle it. He's like, "Fuck this."
I loved the character that they made in the season 1 finale, Abradolf Linkler, and it's a mix of Hitler and Abraham Lincoln. I'm like, that. Now that's some funny shit.
Yeah. Then you find out he's still alive later on. Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. I love Rick and Morty. I've been binging it like crazy lately.
New season's out.
Anyway, we're getting off track. So French pay-per-view. Yeah, it's going to be a good fucking year for international professional wrestling. Rey Mysterio got injured. It's been a bit of a rough one. He was betrayed by Santos Escobar. Finally, thank God. By the way, Santos Escobar tweeting a picture of Rey Mysterio after his surgery and saying, "Stay home, bitch." Good shit. It's very funny to me. The LWO sucks dick, so I'm very, very happy for that. He's undergoing surgery to repair the damage to his right knee, which I swear down he's had surgery on 50 times at this point. Mysterio has been suffering from a torn meniscus in his right knee for over 3 months. The surgery will put the Lucha Libre legend on the shelf for 6 to 8 weeks, putting his return on the timetable for late December or early January. Probably see him at the Rumble. Mysterio opted to work at less than 100% in order to wrestle Logan Paul at Crown Jewel. Paul defeated Mysterio during the show to capture the United States Championship. So Rey Mysterio out for 6 to 8 weeks. Not being rude, I don't think it's a big loss. I think it's actually quite a good thing because it gives the crowd a little bit of an opportunity to miss him a bit for when he comes back.
It gives Santos' attack also some legitimacy too, of like, oh yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, now hopefully they will capitalize on that and make him a half big deal, because I feel like Santos Escobar, do you know what? Bin off LWO, have them like turn on Mysterio and the gang or whatever, and just have like Los what was it? I can't remember what they were called.
Legado del Fantasma.
Legado del Fantasma, see. Just have them fucking do their shit. I thought they were great.
They were so good in NXT, man.
I love their stuff with the D'Angelo family, where it was the cartel versus the mafia. That was good shit. That was good shit. Because you know what? That's something that we can actually relate to in some certain way. You know, the mafia and the cartel are big parts of those cultures. So, you know, having them actually represented on TV is a good thing. But, you know, people aren't ready for progressive shit like that and whatever. You know, not saying that the cartel is progressive in its way, but, you know, using it as a storyline obviously is a different manner. So, yeah, Rey Mysterio being injured sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. Powerhouse Hobbs explains why AEW is on WWE's next. I cannot wait to hear about this.
Oh, my God.
They're on national TV. And we're on national TV. We go head to head. We're right on them, he continued. We've beaten them in ratings at times. We're right there on their neck. There are two major companies in this business. It's WWE and AEW. Jesus, how much were you paid to come out of this shit? Hobbs also, by the way, I really like Powerhouse Hobbs, so this annoys me. Hobbs also addressed the belief of some that he would fare well in WWE. For him, it's not a move he's ever considered due to AEW's stature in his mind. When people say, do you ever want to go to WWE? I tell people we're right there with them, he explained. That's not an answer, though, is it? That's not an answer, bro. So, do we agree with Powerhouse Hobbs' assessment that AEW is right on WWE's necks?
Jesus, no.
No.
They literally just made, what is it, $9 billion merging with Endeavor and all that? Like, meanwhile, you're spunking $9 billion on a bunch of fucking children in a playground. Shut up, man. Also, Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, when WWE comes calling, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Because they will eventually. You know, the same with Wardlow as well. See, WWE is very smart. They're just going to sit there and go, we'll sit there, we'll watch. And then all of a sudden, these guys will become available and they will come into the WWE system and they will be taken, like Jade Cargill, for instance. They sat there and they waited. They let AEW make her a bigger deal than she was, because nobody knew who she was when she first came in. And now she has star power, and now people are like, Jesus Christ, when she's squaring up to people like Charlotte Flair and stuff. Yeah, that's what they do well. Nobody's saying WWE is perfect, because it's not, but they are very good when it comes to guys, because Powerhouse Hobbs is the kind of guy that will thrive in WWE. Look at Bronson Reed, babe.
Who do you think is going to be like the next reasonably big name from AEW to go to WWE?
I don't know about contracts, but I would hazard a guess maybe someone like Wardlow.
Wardlow.
He cannot possibly be happy with what they're doing with him in AEW. He doesn't do anything.
I reckon if the contract's not too long, I see Keith Lee going back, because that's why Kairi Sane went back to WWE. She got interested in going back to WWE as soon as
Triple H.
Yeah, as soon as Triple H. So I see Keith Lee going, because Keith Lee under Triple H, like, look at NXT, like that weekend in 2019 into the Royal Rumble, fucking incredible. You had the War Games Survivor Series, and then a couple months later, Keith Lee staring down Brock Lesnar. I'm like, Keith looks so fucking cool.
Spooge. Yeah. I was Spooge McDuck when he faced Brock Lesnar at the Rumble. Cheers. They should have given me. They should have just rolled with Brock and Keith Lee at WrestleMania. I'd have just fucking come so much cum. Tsunami. I would have wiped out a small village with my semen. Amazing.
Piper Perry.
Okay, Piper Perry. Hit me up. God damn, girl. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, no, good shit. Very, very good shit. Shut up, Powerhouse Hobbs. Ilya Dragunov will defend the WWE NXT Championship against Roger Sears. You fancy having a guess at who Ilya Dragunov's next number one contender is? Because I know Tanvir already knows.
No, I ain't got a clue.
So, who would you like him to face? Like, if you had, infinite resources or whatever, like, think about NXT, WWE, talents there. Who would Ilya Dragunov face in your eyes? Someone big, maybe?
Oh, it's going to be shit, isn't it? Oh, and you're just going to have to put me on my misery.
Someone big, someone powerful.
I'm expecting this to be shit.
Someone who's got some main event roster experience, like a Gunter, maybe? Would you do that? Would you do that?
Well, yeah, you would, but who's it actually then?
Fucking Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
Oh.
I mean, Corbin's actually been pretty cool in NXT. I'm not going to lie.
I haven't watched NXT for ages. I just thirst for Tiffany Stratton.
Corbin right now is my most underrated of the year.
Wow. Roger Sears looks like he's going to fucking punch you.
Nah, Corbin's actually been really, really fucking good in NXT.
My favorite moment in Corbin's entire history is when he was wrestling Apollo Crews when he first sort of started on NXT, and he said that he was going to send him back to Ring of Honor. on TV, I was like, wow. And then he was just like, what? Like, I didn't wrestle for Ring of Honor, bro. Bit awkward. Our nation. Oh dear, how things have
Dragon Gate.
He's good at getting heat. I'll give him that. The problem is the work rate of the match isn't going to match up to something that Ilya Dragunov is used to, like wrestling a JD McDonough or a Bron Breakker or a Gunther or Carmelo Hayes. So, but I'm very, very chuffed for Ilya Dragunov being in a prominent position because he's fucking amazing. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Trick Williams to come to the main roster because Trick Williams is going to be a fucking star just off the chant alone.
He should be in the Black Throne. What was it called? Something Black Throne. I can't
Kings
remember.
of the Black Throne.
Kings of the Black Throne. Piper Perry. Yeah, good shit. Good shit. All right, it's time for a list before we get the fuck out of here. So, right, we have. So I'll read out some, and you can tell me which one you think. So we have the top 30 best WWE matches of all time by Wrestling Inc. We have. No, that's pointless. One of these is times that WWE inflated the WrestleMania attendance, but nobody cares about that. The 12 most historic matches in WWE history, or something else. What do you fancy?
12 most historic.
I'm feeling 12 most
historic. Or
historic.
there's the 10 most historic women's matches in WWE history.
I'd say just is the 10 most historic just like a general one.
It's what they believe to be the 10 most historic women's matches in WWE history, whereas the 12 most historic matches are basically, well, you can probably guess half of them, to be fair, but
I think
nothing's going to match up to when we ranked the the criminality of these people.
I'm just reading a headline right now that's just making me laugh because I'm thinking of a joke.
What is it?
It's a Ric Flair. MJF is special. MJF has a gift that so few have. Yes, Rick, it's called autism.
Oh wow. Okay, that's that escalated quickly. Yeah. I'm trying to think of. I'm just having a look through here just to see if there's any others that was the best pay-per-view cards in WWE history.
I've got one that will make you excited.
What's that?
Logan Paul announced for Elimination Chamber.
Good, because he's amazing. Drink more, Prime. Yeah, that seems fair. All right, should we go for the 12 most historic matches and see whether we agree or not? Yeah, that seems right. I think Roger picked 12 because if he had to go through 30, I'll honestly stab somebody. All right, so the 12 most historic matches in WWE history, according to Wrestling Inc., we're going to decide whether it's yay or nay. So we start with Nature Boy Buddy Rogers versus Bruno Sammartino from May 17th, 1963. What could make this famous? Proving a match doesn't have to be a epic to be historic. Sammartino, beat the supposedly ailing Rogers in 48 seconds to win his first World Championship, becoming the second WWF champion ever. The backstory is more interesting in the match, as Rogers claimed he was forced out of his hospital bed following a heart attack, while Sammartino claimed he had to threaten Rogers to do business in the ring, saying we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Whichever version you believe, the outcome began Bruno's nearly 8-year reign that is unlikely to ever be equaled, although Roman Reigns is obviously trying, including selling out MSG an incredible 187 times. Jesus. So is this yay or nay? Do you think this belongs in the top 12 most historic matches in WWE history, as it kickstarted the greatest and longest reign in the history of the title?
Yes, and for that reason,
kind of hard to argue with it.
Yeah.
So, unsurprisingly, the first ever main event of WrestleMania is here. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. No backstory needed. Top 12 most historic matches of all time, yeah or no?
I'd say nay.
Exactly like horses.
No, because main event.
Remember that? Do you remember when we used to bully you all the time at Rev Pro for sucking off horses? Those were the good old days. Remember that? Like Alex Delanzo would go, I'll bet to you that you sucked off an horse because you were obsessed with Red Dead Redemption 2's trailer where the balls of the horse
Yeah, I was like, look at that fucking horse cock.
Yeah, fucking Horsecock FC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving back to the list. Yeah, do we think that Roger says, what do you think? Tanvir says no.
I think that's borderline. I get why they're putting it in because obviously first ever WrestleMania and it was the main event.
First ever serious celebrity involvement. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I guess there might be a few more that might just pip it. So if not top 12, top 15, I think it's the one that's just on the cusp of it. Like I say, I get why they put it on the list, but
why do you say no, Tanvir?
It just doesn't feel as memorable or historic.
That's
It's like,
because
yeah,
you weren't born.
it's the first thing, but it's not one that you like constantly go back to.
I was like 3 months old.
I was unalive.
I was unalive. Many people that wish they were unalive after watching AEW. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. versus Do you know what? I'm going to say yes. Like, you only get a chance to be the main event of WrestleMania, the first ever main event once. And when you think about who's involved in it, whether you like it or not, Hulk Hogan, one of the biggest icons in the history of wrestling, if not the biggest. Roddy Piper, the greatest heel of all time. Paul Orndorff was just fucking amazing as Mr. Wonderful. Arguably Hogan's greatest ever rival for a lot of people, especially back in the day, other than obviously Savage. And then, of course, Mr. T, who at the time was a big fucking deal as a celebrity in America, you know, and also quite a big deal to have a black celebrity as well at that time. So, you know, yeah. Exactly that. I'm going to say yes. Right, the next one is another Hulk Hogan match. Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania 3. The most iconic moment, of course, being the infamous scoop slam, you know, when he picked up the Giant. Do we think it belongs in the 12 most historic matches of all time, considering that it main evented what was, for the longest time, the biggest ever WrestleMania?
I'm going to say yes. It's still kind of referenced to this day at points as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch Wrestlers on Netflix, it's one of the first fucking pieces of footage they use to describe what wrestling is. It is one of the most iconic moments in wrestling, is him being slammed. Do we consider it top 12 though, Roger says?
Yeah, I think this one is. Yeah. It's had this one lasts in the memory for so many people. Where Tanvir, I'd say criticised, but where Tanvir said about the first ever WrestleMania main event not being so memorable, this one most certainly is. Even if it is just for that slam, but yeah, there's so much to this one, you know, the memory wise, it's implanted in people, I think. So definitely on the list for me.
Yeah, the greatest giant in wrestling history, essentially being felled by what would go on to be, and probably was at the time, the biggest star in the history of wrestling and one of the most transcendent stars in all of sports entertainment. So, yeah, it's as much as it's a terrible match, because it is. If anyone goes back and watches this fucking atrocious match, it does belong on this list. Next up, Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels, the infamous ladder match from WrestleMania 10. One of the 12 most historic matches in wrestling might be a push for me. What do you think?
What was the match again? Sorry.
The ladder match from WrestleMania 10 between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon.
I'd say yeah, because it's the first one pretty much.
Is it though? Because Brett and Shawn had a ladder match before that.
I think it's the first one.
It's the first like main event marquee style. Like, it's the first one to be in a mainstream wrestling show, but you know, but it's one of those things. You know, I imagine what people might say is that it kind of kick-started the use of more gimmick matches. But then at the same time, they still had steel cages well before that. They had war games well before that. So, you know, it's not like it was unique in the sense of it had a lot of star power, and it kind of very much cemented both men's legacies as all-time greats. But or at least that they would move on to become greats. It was kind of like, you know, if anyone sort of looks back, they can say, well, that's where they kickstarted being truly Hall of Famers. But, you know, I mean, some people might argue with Shawn Michaels, it was the Iron Man match. I don't know. It depends. That's the thing with wrestling, it's so subjective. I personally don't think it belongs on this list.
I'm in agreement with you on that one.
It's a hard one, but I'm inclined to agree with both you two gentlemen on this one.
I'm also inclined to notice that you interrupted Rod Sears. Don't ever interrupt me.
I'm sorry, sir.
Don't you dare. You interrupting me is one thing. You interrupt the champ again, I will personally fucking castrate you in front of your family. Outrageous. Yeah, literally. I will castrate you with a rusty knife in my teeth. Legit. Sorry, Roger, what were you saying?
I was saying, as good as it was, especially at the time, because it was so different, I think it's been so far eclipsed by, you know, the matches that have come since of the same stipulation that I think unless you're of a certain age, you don't really think of that match at all when you think of ladder matches. So for me, that's why I'd say no, it's not on the list.
Fair enough. Next up, the infamous match from WrestleMania 13. It is Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a submission match. A lot of people believe it was an I Quit match, don't they? It's like the Mandela effect, but it wasn't an I Quit match. It was a submission match. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin with Ken Shamrock as a special guest referee. This is a gigantic yes from me.
Yes. That's the one fact that I think everybody forgets is that Ken Shamrock was special guest referee. But now this is absolutely 100% historic. Just because of the shot at the end of Austin covered in blood, screaming, and it's arguably the greatest double turn of all time.
But it also facilitated the kickstart of the greatest and most iconic champion WWF would ever have, and the person who saved them from essentially dying to WCW in Stone Cold Steve Austin. It also kickstarted one of the all-time great heel runs in Bret Hart. And it was also probably the most iconic double swerve in the history of wrestling.
Yeah.
It kickstarted so many different things. And also is still to this day, for me, one of the greatest ever wrestling matches. Perfection. Absolute perfection in terms of psychology and everything. Amazingly enough, didn't get a 5-star from Dave Meltzer. Don't think it did.
Everything you guys just said. I can't agree more. It's a wonderful piece of storytelling, and just everything about it, the way it was done, the way they've done the turn at the end, you know, the double turn, just it has to go on the list, doesn't it, because of everything that got built from it.
Yeah, for very different reasons, but very similar reasons at the same time. The next match on this list is the infamous Survivor Series 1997 main event, the Screwjob, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. The title is historic. Again, it's a big fat yes, isn't it? Like, it's probably the most historic, arguably the most historic on the list.
The amount of times that the Screwjob's been rehashed and redone and parodied and referenced.
Why we won't cover it here. That's why I won't cover it, because what's the fucking point? It's been done to death.
Exactly. It's like you just said, it's arguably if not the most historic match of all time, because we still talk about it to this day. And all you have to say to someone to know it is Montreal Screwjob, and they're like, "Oh, I know what that is."
It started the Attitude Era. It started Vince McMahon as the greatest heel cunt of all time. It cemented so many people in this, you know, it really blurred the lines. It was one of the very first times in history. It was the first time in history that we really saw properly on TV people going into business for themselves. I know there was the Rockin' Robin thing, wasn't there, with Fabulous Moolah and all that. It was very weird, that stuff. Can't remember what it was. It was like a deliberate pin, like a forced pin or whatever for the women's title. But this was kind of like the most, like whenever somebody says, like, you know, the shoot or going into business for yourself, this is prime candidate number one. This is ground zero for a lot of people. It's iconic, and it absolutely shattered the foundations of what wrestling was at the time. So yeah, it's top 12 easy.
Has there been a dark side of the ring on it, or are they just like no? Because...
Yeah, there is. Yeah, like
okay.
Razor Ramon talked about it, because Scott Hall says like he believes it's a work. Which Jim Cornette lambasted him for that. So. He hasn't lambasted every man on earth.
It totally belongs on the list. It's funny you say about all of the benefits WWE got from the back of it. Yeah, I think what goes without being mentioned, despite how much the match is talked about, is that the aftermath literally presented WCW with a chance to destroy WWE, and they royally fucked it.
Yeah, you could not have made a better point, to be honest. They waited so long, didn't they, to bring in Brett? They fucked it from the get-go with him. Yeah, they just ruined the whole thing. It was, to be honest, WCW for me never really regained much traction. It actually just kept going downhill after that. The only thing that really helped regain a bit of momentum was the rise of Goldberg. Yeah, fuck WCW. Circa, or as we now call it, AEW circa 2023. WrestleMania 14's main event. The Austin era has begun. Stone Cold Steve Austin, with Mike Tyson as the guest enforcer, beat Shawn Michaels to become WWF champion for the first time in his career and truly jettison the company towards greatness. And slowly, after about a year after that or so, they would overcome WCW in the ratings and would never look back. Pretty historic main event of WrestleMania. Does it belong on the list, though?
I'm gonna say no. Moments, yes, but because this is historic matches, as a match, I feel like I don't remember it as much. For the moment, absolutely, but we're talking about the match here.
But it's not the same for Andre and Hulk Hogan. Can you tell me what happens in that match other than the scoops now?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking.
I feel with that we talk about it's a tricky. I'm gonna say no for this one though.
It's because you're a racist. Roger Sears, what do you think?
I'm actually in agreement with Tanvir on this. I think it's a no, and the reason why is because I think the previous year Austin had a bigger moment, more historic moment with Brett, and I think he had bigger and more historic moments that followed this, and I think this one does get overlooked an awful lot. So I think it probably just misses out for me.
Thing is, like, a lot of people are saying that, because Austin McMahon pretty much kicked off straight after this. But I don't feel like it truly facilitated the need for Austin McMahon. I feel like they probably would have gone that direction anyway. Big deal having Mike Tyson ringside. He was a big fucking, he was one of the most iconic pop culture icons of, well, any modern history, really. Still is now to a lot of people. And especially, this was he wasn't that far removed from coming out of prison for rape, for fuck's sake. Like, so difficult. I'm kind of on the fence. Just because the Austin winning the title was a huge deal. Something that goes under the radar is the fact that Undertaker stood by the curtain with his gloves ready to go in case Shawn Michaels wouldn't fucking drop the belt, because there was a suggestion he would go into business for himself again. And Undertaker was ready to kill him if he didn't go into business. If he didn't do what was right for business, which is mad. I kind of would have liked to have seen that, actually. Undertaker just walk down to the ring and beat the shit out of him. Shoot. Now that would have made it historic as fuck. Undertaker's fucking out in the shit. You will drop the fucking title, you scrawny little twink cunt. Good shit. Dear, he just, yeah. It also signaled pretty much the end of Shawn Michaels' career at that time, didn't it? I know he would come back and do even better. In my opinion, his second run was much better, actually. But do you know what? Yeah, I'll sway with the room for once, and I'll say, yeah, no, it shouldn't be on there. It's definitely top 20, probably. Mankind versus Undertaker, the infamous King of the Ring Hell in a Cell match. For all the wrong reasons, yes. But for me, it's the worst Hell in a Cell match, and that triggers everyone all the time. Because it's not a match. It's a horrific pair of moments that are truly devastating, but truly signify what Mankind was willing to do to get eyeballs on this product. Fucking scary, an iconic moment, but it is not a good match. I'm sorry, but if you think this match has better psychology and better wrestling than, say, the first ever Hell in a Cell between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, which is a masterpiece and also a 5-star from Meltzer, and at a time, by the way, when he would not give a 5-star to anything in WWE, absolutely astonishing. But I think from an historic impact and what it meant, it's probably the most replayed moment in history, him being launched off the cell. And I'm amazed he didn't actually fucking die or be disabled for the rest of his life. Eric Young, you're going off the top of a steel cage on December the 10th, by the way. Rod says, he sent him off the Parkstone train to Labour Club. Oh my God. The humanity.
It's not just the moment of Mick Foley or Mankind going off the top of the cell. It's the audio of JR, arguably the greatest commentary call of all time. It said, by God Almighty, that killed him. As God is my witness, he's broken in half.
Yeah, it echoes around the time. WWE, WWE will probably still be going when we're all dead, and they'll probably still be replaying that. So for that reason alone, it belongs in the top 12. Anyone disagree?
No, can't disagree at all.
Because Foley's kids were front row as well, right?
Hey?
I think Foley... Oh no, I'm getting it mixed.
You're thinking of the I Quit match with The Rock.
Yeah, I'm getting it mixed up with the chair shots.
Yeah. Next on this list is quite a contentious one. The Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian at the WrestleMania 2000 Triangle Ladder match, which of course then facilitated the design for TLC. But at the time, this was just a Triangle Ladder match. WrestleMania 2000, vaunted as one of the worst WrestleManias, isn't it, for a lot of people? But this match was pretty special. I remember watching this match and being mind blown at the time. I'd never seen anything so crazy in all my life. But Hell in a Cell was one isolated moment. Who can forget Jeff Hardy doing a swanton off a 20-foot ladder to the floor? Like,
was it the one with the spear as well, or was
that was WrestleMania 17.
Oh, okay.
That was TLC 2.
Oh, okay.
TLC 1 was at SummerSlam 2000, which for me was the best of the three.
Yeah.
Roger C is really thinking hard about this.
I'm really conflicted about this one because I understand the significance of it, but at the same time, I said that Michaels and Razor didn't belong on it because of everything that came after, and I'm gonna have to stick to my guns and say the same here. I think they produced bigger, more memorable things after this, and so for that reason, I'd say no, it's not on the list.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Roger with this one because I'd say no to this, but if it was TLC 1, the SummerSlam match, then I'll be yes. But I think for Triangle Ladder, I'm gonna have to say no.
It's the thing of, can the others be historic if they don't have this match first? That's where it becomes difficult, because it's like, yes, there have been better matches, but will there be better matches if they don't have the first one? So in many ways, another argument as well for the first Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Because how can Foley and Undertaker do what they do if we don't have the guinea pigs of Shawn Michaels and Undertaker doing it first at Bad Blood in '97?
I'm hoping the first Hell in a Cell is on here, not just because the match was great, but it's the debut of KAHN.
I don't think it is, because I think these are in a chronological order.
Damn, that's insane that match isn't on there.
I would actually probably, dare I say, I mean, you can't remove the other Hell in a Cell, but I would argue that maybe the first Hell in a Cell belongs on this list more than this Triangle Ladder match. So I'm going to say no. The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 17. The main event of the greatest Mania of all time. Anyone who says it's not, you are wrong. It's just as simple as that. By the way, first WrestleMania to ever draw, and first WWE pay-per-view, I believe, to ever draw more than 1 million buys.
There's only 2 words that I need to say, and people know what I'm talking about. My way.
Or crack addict.
I mean, this match is for some people crack.
This match is crack to me. Yeah, like absolutely. This, if I could stick this in a needle and shove it in my eyeballs, I fucking would. This match is honestly, I am violently erect from the moment the glass shatters. It is just perfection to me. I've watched it so many times. So when I was, a fun story, I don't know why I need to share this. So when I was 18, I was a very sexless young man, as you can imagine. Still am now, to be honest. But there was this beautiful gothic girl that I was romantically entwined with. And she actually wanted to violently fuck me after watching this match. That's how good it was, because we were so excited by it that she wanted to have sex straight after. Legit. I had like a best of WWF tape from 2001, a VHS. I'm old, and I remember she wanted to watch more wrestling. She was quite into it, and she was just like I remember she wasn't even a wrestling fan, and she was losing her shit over the fact The Rock, you know, when he's like getting walloped and he still won't stay down. And I just like, honestly, you could see her getting hornier throughout the entire match. As of course I was already horny as soon as I put the tape in, because I'm horny for VHS, if I'm being honest. Just the feeling of a stirred tape in my hands as it slides elegantly into its slot.
The satisfaction of like.
It is so. I was like, oh yeah, that sound. Where it goes, and you're like, oh yeah, make love to me. 14-inch color TV, make love to me. Yeah, beautiful. Man, I used to own a 14-inch color TV that I used to play multiplayer GoldenEye on. Fucking hell. Tanvir won't know anything about this nonsense. Only 14
my brother's your age, so I get told the stories. When I used to live in Southall, when we used to live in Southall, because my brother, the age difference, his friends across the road, they'd play GoldenEye, and they each had like different consoles. So I think my brother had the Sega Mega Drive, and some of his friends had the N64, and they'd go to each other's houses and just play games. That's why I think for my birthday, like I think a decade ago, we got the Sega Mega Drive collection on PS3, and so me and my brother would just play Streets of Rage and GoldenEye.
To be fair, on the Xbox Game Pass, the Streets of Rage 4 is really good. Really, really good. Roger Sears, what was the first console you owned? Do you remember?
Sega Master System.
Yes, that was mine. I had that as well with Alex the Miracle Kid.
Yes.
Oh yes.
And and you couldn't save it, so you had to play it in one sitting.
Yeah.
I get to the volcano levels, the lava levels, and I'd always die. I'd be like, fuck. Crazy. Seriously, like 8-year-old me fucking hated that game so much. I loved it, but I hated it. I'd play it every day after school, and like it drove me crazy. I had Shinobi 2 on it as well.
Oh, Shinobi. I love Shinobi.
Yeah, just like that was what facilitated my passion for ninjas.
My first console was the Game Boy. It was the Game Boy Color.
I had a Game Boy Color. I had Tetris on it.
I
got it free for opening up an account with Halifax.
I love Tetris. Like old school Tetris.
All this retro talk is getting me all excited about being young. Getting all nostalgic.
I feel like the first game I played might have been Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Seasons. I'm pretty sure it was Oracle of Seasons, and then I went on to like Pokemon and all that.
We'll have a dedicated. I think we should just sit down and have like a dedicated like games chat that's like nothing to do with Wrestle Plug. We need to start gaming plug. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Chris Jericho from Vengeance 2001 is the next on this list. Of course, the first ever undisputed champion. Is it one of the 12 most historic matches ever though?
No.
No, I don't think it's close. Like, it's a great night. It's amazing to see. Like, it's such a big upset. I remember everyone was furious that Chris Jericho won, right? Because he was just like, "What? The Rock is Stone Cold!" Like, you can't. Like, I couldn't believe it. But like, it's iconic, but only in a kayfabe standpoint to me. It doesn't really. For me, for it to be historic, it has to be a game changer in real life, not just in kayfabe.
Yeah.
And for this is just historic from a kayfabe standpoint. Oh, he unified the belts, but they didn't, until Triple H won at WrestleMania, they didn't turn it into one belt. So he was just walking around with two. And to be honest, the title run, if you think about it, you don't really remember anything about it other than the fact that he won it at Vengeance and then lost it to Triple H at Mania. Other than that, he didn't really do anything with it. Like, who did it? I think he wrestled The Rock at the Rumble.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
and he wrestled Austin at No Way Out, didn't he? And the NWO came out and interfered. So he wasn't a convincing champion. He wasn't booked very well. And if I remember rightly, in the run up to Mania, he basically became Stephanie McMahon's bitch.
Yeah, it became more Triple H versus Stephanie with Jericho as the side piece. The whole he wanted a divorce, didn't he, and all that sort of very weird. And it's, to be honest, I actually think WrestleMania 18, if you remove The Rock and Hulk Hogan from it, is one of the worst WrestleManias.
Yeah.
I think it's actually really boring.
I'm amazed so far that that's on there, but no Royal Rumble in terms of historical matches.
No, the Royal Rumbles are on it, which is a real surprise, actually. There's only one left. John Cena versus Triple H from WrestleMania 22.
Is that the one with the cool entrance with H throwing the hammer through the glass?
I don't know. I can't remember if I'm being honest.
Because I don't mind King of Kings, but I love the Triple H simple entrance where he just had the sledgehammer and just fucking flung it through the glass and you're just walking down. I'm like, that's cool.
What's famous about it is Cena made Triple H tap out, which was not a big deal at that point. For me, I think it's because it's kind of like the first main event where people were turning on him at WrestleMania. It was the first kind of let's go Cena sucks sort of thing, and this is where he became divisive. There was a real big. I remember the dirt sheets was just really starting to become a thing at that point. And like they'd obviously been a thing for a long time, but this was the first time the internet was kind of really having its say. And I remember people were on forums and things like, and there was a big suggestion that they were going to abandon and turn Cena heel because he was just getting so much heat. And this is kind of where they cemented it and said, "Nah, fuck you," and just had Cena kind of keep going. And I think for a lot of people, to me, surely him beating JBL is more historic because that was his first major title, right? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like the sort of indication of this is the next big star, the next marquee talent. But I don't think it's anywhere close to a historic. I wouldn't even have it as top 30.
No, it doesn't belong on this list at all.
No chance. For me, the Iron Man match at WrestleMania between Shawn and Brett should be there before this. Dare I say Rock versus Cena is probably more historic. Just for
I'd say it may not be a great match, but more historic. Rock v Hogan.
Rock v Hogan, yeah, absolutely, because that's like the only time they had a chance to do that. Like the biggest icon of that era versus the biggest icon of this era. They've never really been able to replicate that. That's why they kind of want Rock and Roman Reigns, I think, but it just doesn't have the same caveat, the same gravitas, I personally think that's a real wet fart as the last one on the list.
Yeah. It's a very weird list because that's what I mentioned right now. I'm like, I'm amazed no Royal Rumble is on this because some of the Royal Rumbles are bloody historic.
2001 is my favorite Rumble of all time. Although historically, probably the one that's, I don't know, like I'm trying to think. I mean, the first one has to be in there, doesn't it? Because it was a completely untested entity, I suppose. So I'd be more inclined to put the first Rumble in there than this. Maybe, like we say, the first Hell in a Cell should have been in this. Like, I don't think they did a terrible job. Normally, their list can be fucking awful. Their biggest cards of all time was some of the worst I've ever seen. But this one, I feel like they got 70 to 80% of it pretty much bang on. There's a couple where you just think, not for me, but you could understand. This one, though, is a complete wet fart at the end. It's like...
I don't understand its inclusion. Like you said, there's those other ones that could have gone in, but... You're talking historic, then why isn't Michael's Flair in ahead of that?
Yeah.
I just don't understand what that's doing on that list at all.
Why isn't Taker versus Michaels when Michaels retires? Like that is what a match that is. Holy shit. Like there's
end of an era match too.
Yeah, like terrible match, but historic nonetheless. God, some of those WrestleManias were fucking awful, weren't they? Like in the sort of like early 2010 to sort of 2014. Oh God, like
I'm trying to think of like other historic matches during that time. Would you say in terms of historic, SummerSlam, Brock versus Rock?
I mean, it's the last time that The Rock kind of was truly considered a regular main eventer, and then he was gone, wasn't he? After that, he was pretty much that was when he sort of said, "Yeah, see you later." I know he came back and wrestled Goldberg for a month and Austin at 2003, but at that point, it was very clear he was back to kind of just kind of wrap some shit up. Brock versus Rock also was just like, he's one of the biggest ever stars in the history of comedy versus like the biggest genetic freak we'd ever seen as a wrestler. I remember they had the promo package with them both training, and Rock was doing box jumps and things like that. It was actually really like, whoa, like this is going to be a big fucking deal. The match itself is actually quite forgettable, which is a shame, really, because The Rock just couldn't keep up with Brock's work rate either. That's not his style, So yeah, but so many matches from Mania or SummerSlam, or whatever I could have put. Like, for instance, Brett versus Bulldog at SummerSlam 92 would probably be ahead of this match. Even if you want to say, kick starting John Cena, like, maybe John Cena's sort of, first WrestleMania sort of main event against JBL, or maybe his match against the Big Show where he picked him up and gave him the FI at WrestleMania 20. Like, all those matches kind of kickstarted him as a big deal far more. Like, that's when you kind of knew this was going to be the poster boy more so than this match. In many ways, Austin being a special guest referee to Goldberg and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 20 is more historic just because how much of a shit housery it was. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. Anything else you boys want to talk about before we wrap it up? I know Roger Sears probably wants to go to bed.
No, all right.
Oh, yeah, you're off this week, aren't you? Right.
Yeah.
Midnight. We'll finish this one. 4 hours special from the Wrestle Plug. Yeah. Any other business, boys? Do you want to carry on talking about video games for a few minutes?
I've got Super Mario RPG coming tomorrow.
Has anyone played Mortal Kombat 1 yet?
Oh, I have. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's arguably, because I'm watching more videos on it, it's one of the toughest fighting in community wise, one of the toughest ones to learn because there's so much on the timing and the button inputs. But I think that's what makes it fun too, because there is so much to learn.
Awesome. I do have some any other business before we get ranting, and that is, of course, the announcement of the main event of BCD Wreck the Halls, December the 10th, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Roger Sears, Il Campione Massive Penis #1, the BCD champion, the main event, the history maker versus some geezer from Canada. It should be a good Eric Young, Impact Wrestling megastar, former WWE NXT Tag Team Champion, the leader of Sanity, will roll into the Parkstone Trades and Labour Club, and no doubt, under the most hostile environment in all of Dorset, will face Roger Sears for the BCD Championship. And you will lose, Eric. You will fail in front of your family and your friends because you are a nothing. You are a nobody. You are literally past news, eh? EY, the state of it. Team Canada, buddy. I reckon Carl Wilkinson can take you at this point. State of it. Now, obviously, Eric Young, big fucking deal, but I'm just cutting promos, innit? This Roger Sears is your biggest ever matchup, despite the fact that Cameron Anderson's ego can't handle the fact that it wasn't him. How is preparation for a match like this?
I don't
kick his fucking head off.
Oh well, there is that, but stepping away from
better throw everything you got at that super kick. I'll say that.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna take a lot to keep him down.
Yes.
You must have something up your sleeve. I saw Taryn Tyler Roberts chirping away. I was like, bro, if you've been carried by Roger Sears, be quiet. Nobody's talking to you. Like, yeah, mate, honestly, if it weren't for me, no one would even know who you are. Just be quiet, bro. Honestly, like, you know what? You can suckle at the Tita Sears all you want, but yeah, like you'll do nothing when it's all said and done.
You'll do nothing.
He's the big bill of this equation. Be quiet. Yeah, what's it like? Like, is it nerve-wracking?
At the moment, no. I'm actually really quite calm about it.
Sure? Are you sure you're not nervous?
No, honestly, right now I'm quite calm about it. I imagine as the time gets closer, we'll get to the week of the show, and I will be shitting a brick, I've no doubt. But right now, I'm pretty calm and relaxed about it all.
What do you think about whisperings that certain people in this profession don't think you're up to the challenge of facing Eric Young? That's my boy.
Go fuck yourself.
If you were good enough, you'd be facing him, wouldn't you?
Well, there you go.
Maybe worry about your own shit more than crying about BCD every 5 minutes. How about
that? Yeah, exactly.
How about that? Instead of fucking going on the internet and going, I don't like this, I don't like BCD, I don't like Daniel. That's cool. Nobody said that you're not entitled to those opinions, but it's not going away just because you cry on the internet every day on your little forums. It's not. It's just not going away. This is our biggest card to date, by the way. And as you might have seen from the poster, we also have one of the most historic tag teams in British wrestling, The Business, coming in. So pretty obviously they're going to be facing. I think you can put 2 and 2 together there. I'm not going to insult our fans' intelligence. We have MOS, one of the best and most exciting baby faces in all of professional wrestling. We have Alex Connors, who is one of the best and most villainous shithouses I've ever seen in my life, the Temple of Light leader. You know, Sean Riley, big baby face, Oompa Loompa, good shit. Like, you know, there's a lot. We also have some other people like running around in a battle royal, you know, whatever. But I mean, you know, it's that. You know, there's a lot of talent. People from Kamikaze, people from RCWA, people coming from all over the country to work for this show. So we must be doing something right. So, you know, I guess get some cream for the yeast infection and get over it. That's what it is, really. But yeah, Rod says he's going to fuck up Eric Young, and the reign of terror and tyranny will continue. But it's not tyranny, is it? It's not. I see you, Sean Riley. You're putting your silly little fucking statuses out. Ow. This is hopefully going to be the end of the tyranny just because Rod Sears kicked Daddy Knox in the face and you had to sulk off. You had to sit there like a cuckold little slut and watch as Roger Sears kicked your dad into submission. I bet you are rock solid in realist. By the way, I noticed you couldn't even sit next to your own family. Like, that's how embarrassed you were seeing your own dad. Because let's be honest, your real dad was what, 3 seats down? But you didn't want to sit next to him. Because really, you wish Jay Knox was your father because he's a failure like you are. Roger says, try not to pop his nuts off is my favorite. How's that for a fucking promo? Completely ad lib. He's my phone. Tanvir, you want to cut a promo on Sean Riley? We'll put you against Sean Riley if you cut a promo on him.
I don't fucking know who that is.
There's your promo right there.
I'm being honest. Who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck is Sean Riley? There was a start to a rivalry because Tanvir has wrestled this year. He has trained a little bit. He got his debut. I reckon Tanvir could take. What do you reckon? Do you reckon Tanvir could take Sean Riley?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fucking. You smell that? You smell that, right? You smell... Oh yeah.
If I let him beat me, is that playing the race card?
Sean Riley versus the Bombay Bomber. That's going to be good shit.
The Bombay Bomber.
What? Because you throw hands, isn't it? Like... it doesn't matter what I say at this point. You're going to make it racist. Like,
this
you know,
is Sarum and this is Masala.
Nickname the Bombay Bomber. I think that's quite cool. We can't call you the Bombay Bad Boy because, you know, that's what Raj and Rishi would call the Bombay Bad Boys. Yeah. So yeah, Bombay Bomber sounds good to me. It'd be worse if you were the Baghdad Bomber, wouldn't it? Like,
no, I still remember the video I sent you and how I lost it when the guy said garam masala. It was a garam masala.
Yeah, I'm gonna next time you wrestle, if I'm a commentator for it, I'm gonna see how many curry references I can drop in before somebody gets pissed off.
He's adding some garam masala.
He's feeling spicy tonight, Merrill.
He's got him in the turmeric twister.
Oh, dear. The turmeric twister. Oh my God. Book that immediately. Yeah, the Korma clutch.
the cumin clutch.
The cumin clutch. Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, that's a little bit more.
The paprika press.
Spoken like a true Indian who will not recognise the British bastardisation of curry that is the korma. I know that the korma is a lot of colonial bullshit. Like, I'm not.
The korma's so nice. It can be delicious. Don't get me wrong, but if I go to a curry, I'm
a Pasanda man. What about you, Rog? What's your go-to curry?
I actually like a prawn curry.
Prawn?
Prawn's good.
What kind of prawn? Because obviously you could put prawn. You could have a vindaloo. You could have a pasana. You could have any number of things with prawn.
I'd personally say with prawn korma's probably best to go with because it's kind of like refreshing.
Roger Sears has never been whiter, hasn't he? A prawn.
I know, right? Yeah.
What's the family go for? What's the wife go for?
Oh my God, she loves her curry. I don't think she's got a preference. She just loves curry.
She loves the Roger Pasanda, I'll tell you now.
The Pasanda press.
We're all queuing up for a bit of the Sears sausage, boiled, brimming,
can I
peering inside a vicious vindaloo of seduction.
My finish should be the biryani bomb.
The biryani bomb. Biryani bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm trying to think what other things of what other food have we got in here. We need to come up with loads of names for Tanvir's. Every single one of Tanvir's offensive maneuvers must have a curry name. Like all of them.
The
Bargy Bomber.
Bargy Bomber.
I just can't get away from bombing. Please don't sue me, FBI.
The Sarg Suplex.
The what?
The Sarg Suplex.
Yeah. I still like the Korma Clutch.
The Korma Clutch is good.
Yeah, I like the Korma Clutch. What else have we got? The Pasanda Pile Driver. Yeah, we've got the Biryani Bomb. That could be your power bomb when you power bomb Sean Riley into insignificance right in front of his family.
Paneer press.
His dad looks like the kind of geezer who would be offended if his son lost to an Indian. I am the biggest heel walking this earth, and
Mate, I'm terrified now. I don't want to somehow win and then get immediately killed.
What, get jumped by the KKK's leader? No, I'm joking. Joke. It's a fucking joke. We may have to edit that. I'm not going to edit that. No idea.
Tommy Robinson impersonator.
Tommy Robinson. Wow, I've just been called the Tommy Robinson of wrestling. How depressing.
EDL.
Jesus.
The BCDL.
BCDL. Oh, the British. The Behind Closed Defense League. Sounds like some really, really aggressive shopping experience.
Welcome.
The market sweep for terrorists.
Little.
Fucking dear, oh dear. It's lucky this fucking podcast is bullshit, isn't it? Like nobody watches it. Otherwise, none of us would ever work again. Yeah. Anything else you boys want to talk about before we wrap it up?
I'm all good, thanks.
International break this week, Rog. Excited about the international break?
No.
No, anybody who gets excited over the international break is for sad a bit.
Probably a sex offender, to be honest. I genuinely hate the international break so much.
Yeah.
I can't believe anyone watches it. Like, yeah.
It depends on the matchups. Majority of the time, it's
like... matchups. There's a man who's been watching way too much wrestling.
It depends on what matches are on, or like, because with it being international break, what countries are facing each other.
Well, good news. Scotland rescued a draw against Georgia tonight.
England's got Malta, right?
Oh, fuck me. I'd rather kill myself. Like, Azerbaijan beat Sweden 3-0.
Yeah. Now, forget the international break. Aeron, have you been watching Bake Off?
Do you know what? I need to catch up with it massively.
Because you mentioned Rick and Morty, I thought what you'd do is on like Tuesdays if you're free is like maybe watch Bake Off, then like maybe a bit of Rust, and then 10 o'clock straight away Rick and Morty's on.
Yeah, I do need to watch it, to be fair. I'm just having a look at this. Oh, hold on. We do have some exciting news from the football, and that is that in the where is it? Here we are, the African World Cup qualifying stages.
Yes.
Egypt to beat Djibouti 6-0. Come on!
Wait.
I scored 4 against the mighty Djibouti.
I had to double check that. I'm like, that can't be a real 6-0.
Djibouti, the country nobody knows.
Like Egypt straight up gave Djibouti a pounding.
Djibouti sounds like a porn, if I'm being honest. But that being said, in the same World Cup qualifying, Sudan drew 1-1 with Togo, and Nigeria drew 1-1 with Lesotho. Cape Verde played a 0-0 draw with Angola.
Cape Verde, lovely country.
Yeah. Have you been to Cape Verde, have you?
Yeah, we went there.
Oh, yeah. Of course you have. Your second name's Verde. How do you not live in Cape Verde?
Yeah, we went there last year on holiday, and it was actually really nice. It was.
Where'd you last go on holiday to, Rog?
It was in the UK somewhere.
That's all right. Hey, no judging.
Not very far.
It's a tough economical climate for people with families.
Oh yes.
So, have you ever been abroad?
Once.
Where was it?
For a weekend to Detroit for WrestleMania 23.
Oh my fucking god, what a flex.
Yeah.
Like swinging that monster penis around. Like, don't go abroad much. WrestleMania 23. What was the main event of that?
Sorry?
What was the main event of 23?
Cena Michaels.
Oh, okay. Was that the same one where Rey Mysterio won the title? Or was that the year before?
No, Mysterio's at 22.
You got to witness like the first big Undertaker match, Undertaker Batista.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was good.
Yeah, it was.
Awesome.
Oh, you forget that. We're in the greatness. Roger says witnessed the greatest match of all time. Great Khali versus Kane.
I think he's probably forgotten about that, and you've just dredged up that memory.
Yeah.
He looks
Thanks
genuinely
for that.
shell-shocked. Like you've just seen his
The card up. Oh, you got to see Mr. Kennedy win Money in the Bank as well.
Oh fuck yeah! I used to love Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, he was red hot at the time.
Yeah, he was. I remember because that was the year when I went to see WWF in Cardiff for a house show, and he was in the main event for the title. It was him, Mark Henry, Undertaker, and Batista in a fatal four-way for the World Heavyweight Championship at a house show. Ludicrous. We also got Finlay versus Kane.
Roger also saw Scary Canadian Man v The Most Valuable Pilot.
Oh, I remember that. MVP, yeah. The most valuable pilot. I thought that was me. Bombay Bomber. Good shit. Right, I think we'll wrap it up there before things get even more fucking... Well, they can't get any more offensive, can they? If for some ungodly reason you want to follow us on social media, and I suggest you don't because we're awful people, at WrestlePlug is obviously my social media. Roger Sears, where can people find the BCD champion on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at r.sears.pro-wrestler, and I'm on Facebook as Roger Sears Pro Wrestler.
Tanvir, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Tanvir_Verdi99, and you can find me on Twitter at Verdi_Tanvir.
Why is it 99? Is that the amount of victims you've had in your basement?
No, that's the year of my birth.
God, I fucking hate you. 90.
one off the 100.
I was gonna say that is a lot of dead babies. I mean bowling balls.
Bowling balls.
It's a fucking joke. Seriously. Ricky Gervais goes out there. Ricky Gervais, right, does a stand-up, right, where he talks about how he wants to fuck baby Hitler, and everyone's like, ha ha, very funny, very amusing. I said dead babies on a podcast. Cancellation.
Ricky Gervais has got the crazy joke about the little girl who's telling the story, and then he's just like, oh, make something up.
Jesus Lord.
Yeah, I'm like, what did the man do to you? And it's like, oh, he did this. And then she's like, oh, nothing else. And he's like, oh, just make something up. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Fucking grim, innit? Like, even I'm a bit uncomfortable. That says a lot. Because I'll say fucking anything as a heel. I don't give a shit. It's 18 plus anyway.
I think Jimmy Castor got one of the greatest jokes, and it's to do with the mosquito nets.
Yeah. Go on. Why don't you regale us with that joke to finish out?
It was the if there were more mosquito nets than I can't retell it from memory.
How convenient.
I'll get it up. I'll get it up now.
I'll get it up now. That's what I said to Piper Perry. Consistent storytelling here at the WrestlePlug. Yeah, make sure you follow Tanvir Verdi on social media. I don't even know if he posts or anything. He normally just shares anime stuff and has a circle jerk with Ian Deal.
One Piece. The One Piece.
Yeah.
So the joke was, if only Africa had more mosquito nets, then every year we could save millions of mosquitoes from dying needlessly of AIDS.
Fucking hell. Like, fuck me. Like, the dark place you have to go. Like, I'm in a dark place a lot of the time, but that is something else, isn't it?
What makes that clip and joke better is Tim Minchin losing his mind. Or him just like fucking cackling.
Yeah, that is just fucking something else. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching the State of Wrestling Address, the worst podcast in wrestling by far. I'm proud of that. We'll catch you very soon for more content from the Wrestle Plug. Meanwhile, I'm going to go and die in a vat of acid.
Great episode of Rick and Morty.
It actually is. It actually is. Trust the vat of acid, you piece of shit, Morty.